PragICTS, expediting business outcomes.
Hello. What I want to talk today relates to this question: how come the internet in this day and age remains as a platform that is not fully realized and capitalized, especially from a business perspective? If business is about selling, surely the internet is the platform where you will find your customers. Look at the numbers. Of the 8.2 billion population, 67% of that can be reached. That rounds to about 5.4 billion. And surely, in those numbers are your customers. Expansion beyond that, internet's expansion beyond that is not going to make any detriment to this thing because the bulk is there. And internet's current expansion is beyond the devices that we consume, the digital devices that we consume on a daily basis, that is a phone, laptop, tablet, etc. Its expansion is taking place to the rest of the areas pertaining to agriculture, production, manufacturing, etc. to bring all these devices, instruments, machinery, vehicles onto the digital fold, so that you can track them, manage them, operate them, etc. And technologies such as cloud, sensors, IoTs, and AI with its inference capacity is going to build on top of all this. And still these technologies that I just mentioned are still at its infancy, and it's on a fast roll of innovation. So therefore, coming back to this question, how come it is, with all this, how come it is not capitalized? The other angle to this is that today the internet has changed our lifestyles as well. Today we consume, especially media, on demand, when we consume it when we want it, compared to the passive media that we were used to, that is the newspapers, television, radio, etc. So it is basically the active platform. You find people, your customers, your stakeholders. So how come? With all these data and facts that points to it, how come still people are not convinced? The ones who have been successful in capitalizing these are global brands. We know them by their names and their successful entities, their numbers, all that, bottom line, all that. Was such numbers with great volume and great revenue. And then when you go and talk to customers who are looking at it or not fully capitalized, the internet and the digital platforms, usually you hear, well, we spent money, we invested, we are not really seeing some serious benefit of it. So that is the reason for that I see as two forces. One is that when you want to get onto the internet, when you want to capitalize the digital platforms, you need to pursue the conversation from your business viewpoint. You should not try to get onto the lingo of the digital marketing side of things. So, and then also what we see is that, you need to engage with top tier digital marketing agencies and IT service providers. But you need to pursue that conversation and have that dialogue from your business perspective, not try to understand their lingo, because that doesn't make sense. If you do that, what is being delivered doesn't relate to the numbers that you're looking at, the parameters that you're looking at. So therefore, it is important that when you engage, you need to have a clear-cut conversation saying that, tell us how we can capitalize on this, and these are numbers over the last many years. How can you improve this? And on the other end, the digital marketing agencies or IT companies should be matured enough to understand what is required from a business perspective, do the research, do the analysis, understand the business, understand the competition, understand the context, and articulate progressive strategies that can be implemented and which delivers in a progressive manner. And if you don't do that, business will never see the benefit of it. So from that context, there are three things that any business needs to pursue this to be successful in terms of establishing an effective digital presence, capitalizing the internet. The first one is your presence. Basically, that relates to your identity, your branding, your value proposition, products and services, which is established with your website, which forms the foundation of your digital presence. It's not the social platforms. Social platforms comes as a supplementary to complement your online presence. Now, when you say the website, it also relates to your domain identity, because that is your identity. And whatever that you build on the internet, it doesn't expire. It continues to build on your visibility. Social platforms as well, it has to be pursued not for the sake of, you need to get on board, what you're going to do on it. The experts must, the agencies that you're interacting must very clearly say as to how these platforms are relevant to you and whether your customers are there and how are they going to reach those customers and how the conversion will happen. I'm not talking about the clicks and the share number of likes. That doesn't relate to numbers necessarily. Good to have, but not from the business point of view. So your first part is your online presence, your effective digital presence. Second part relates to your discoverability, whether you can be discovered when someone is looking for a product or service of interest. So if that is the case, if your product and service, your brand is not discovered, someone will else be discovered. Simple as that. So therefore, your discoverability is important. And there can be a push strategy and a pull strategy. But what is important is that when there is a customer who is searching for something, that you're discovered. Push strategy is that you can, through the social platforms and through other mechanisms, you can figure out where your prospective customers could be. And then you target campaigns. So it's sometimes it can be a bit of a hit and miss case. The third part is the one that cements these two. That is, you have to ensure from a business perspective, your product and branding and service lives up to the promises that you have made. So if the product is not good, or if the customer is disappointed with the product that you have sold or the service that they have consumed, they're not going to come again. And what is detrimental is that since you're discovered on the digital, and if there is anything, they will go and critique you. Put the negative comments saying that, this is all bull, what you have sold does not meet the expectation, and the damage is done. So if all these three things fires in a cohesive way with all cylinders, that can really deliver phenomenal results. So my suggestion is to capitalize the internet and your digital presence, always from a business perspective, and engage with the service providers from a business perspective, and look at the proposition and the deliveries from a business perspective. So that way you can remain in your area of expertise and comfort and ensure that what you pursue is delivered. Thank you.
PragICTS, expediting business outcomes.